Cardi B got a non-final office action refusal. Kim K is having a change of heart about her kimono shapewear line. Listen, today is all about updates. I know y'all come here for the tea, but not just any tea, you want the legal tea. Welcome to the Legal Tea, where we talk about pop culture from a legal view. I'm brand attorney Montgomery, and I help clients own their genius by protecting their brands through trademarks, copyrights, and contracts. We got a good one for you today, so let's get started. So do you remember about 3 months ago when I was telling you about Cardi B and she filed an application for Okurr? That's how I say it, but it's okay with the exaggerated rolling of the R's that I cannot do. And whenever I try to do it, my oldest kid laughs at me. Let's see, I'm gonna try it again. Okurr. No, that's not it. But you guys know what I'm talking about. She filed a trademark about 3 months ago for that in a couple of different classes, and you can learn more about that here. When I go into detail about her applications and what she applied for. She filed for the trademark back in February 25th of this year, and just last month, 2 months ago, in May, she received an office action. And now the whole internet's like, oh, her trademark application has been denied, yada, 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 this, that, and the other. So I know you guys tuning here so I can tell you, what does that really mean? Did her application really get denied? So we're going to talk about that today. We're also going to talk about Kim Kardashian and how social pressure has caused her to kind of change her mind about going forward with the trademark application for kimono. So let's start with Cardi B. So Cardi B's application, she did receive a non-final office action for the trademark applications, and she filed 2 for Okurr. One was for clothing, the other one was for like paper goods. She received an office action for 2 reasons. One was because there was 2 pending prior applications that were filed, and the second one is because the USPTO examiner said, yeah, no, this is a common phrase. This does not identify your brand. This is something that's popular, and it won't be people won't recognize it to identify the source of your good or service. So let's talk about that, right? Let's talk about what this office action means. So first of all, what is an office action? An office action is an official communication from the United States Patent and Trademark Office. When they receive your application, it sits in their database for 3 months. After that time, it's going to be assigned to an examining attorney. It's that attorney's responsibility to go over your application and see if it qualifies for registration. Make sure that it's legally qualified for registration. Make sure that it doesn't conflict with any other marks, that it's not descriptive, that it's actually a trademark, things of that nature. So it's not an adversarial process. It's just that they want to, check off the boxes and make sure that that your mark is actually a trademark. So that's what that means. When you get an office action, you have 6 months to respond to that office action. 6 months. If you do not respond in 6 months, your application will be abandoned. When the first communication that they send out for an office action is normally a non-final refusal, which is why you have that 6 months to respond, because it's non-final. They say, hey, this is what we see. This is our opinion, but do you have a legal reason why we should move forward with registration? That's essentially what you get to do in most of the cases. You get to present a legal argument on why their position is not the right position and your position is the correct position. So that's what she received. She received a non-final office action, one for 2 prior pending applications, and the other one because it essentially said that it was not being used to identify her trademarks. I'm sorry, it wasn't being used to identify her goods or services. And let's go a little bit deeper. Let's see exactly what they said, because that's an important point. That part is really important, because I always tell people when you're creating brands, don't go chasing fads. Don't go chasing the most popular thing and try to get a trademark on it because you think that you're going to lock it down and prevent everybody else from using it. And if they want to use it, they're going to have to come see you and you're going to get paid, because that's not how it works, okay? So this is exactly what the examining attorney said. Let me find it. They say that this term or expression is commonly used in the drag community by celebrities as an alternative way of saying okay, or something that is said to affirm when someone is being put in their place. Because consumers are accustomed to seeing this term and expression commonly used in everyday speech by many different sources, they would not perceive it as a mark identifying the source of the applicant's good and or services, but rather as a way of conveying an informational message. And something like that cannot be protected, because remember, trademarks protect brand identifiers. And what this examining attorney is saying is that when people see this, they're not going to connect it with your brand because it's so commonly used and is used so by so many different sources. I know once I was doing the original story, I learned that the Kardashians were also using it. See, that's the stuff that I don't know because I don't follow the Kardashians, but they were also using that and rolling their R's in that manner. And then I also learned that it is something that's commonly used in the drag community, and that's something that this examining attorney used as well. So for that reason, he says, you know what? No, you can't get a trademark for that. And so, and also in that office action, he's like, this can't be overcome. Like, there's nothing that you can say to change my mind. I mean, they can try, you know, they get to respond to the office actions. So that's that. The second reason that her application was denied because of 2 prior applications. And so this is another reason why I tell people, they always say, well, when do I file? If you wait to file, you run the risk of someone else beating you to the punch, as in this case. So what happens is when you file your application and someone else has beat you to the punch but their application has not been approved, you're going to get an office action saying, hey, someone has already filed. It's a pending application. So what that means for you is that you have to wait. You have to wait and see what happens to that application before you can move forward. Now you have 1 or 2 ways. If you choose not to respond to the office action, then your application will be abandoned. However, if you have this office action that says pending application, you can ask for it to be your application to be suspended until that one is resolved, so you can see if there's going to actually be a conflict. Because if their application is not approved for some reason, or if they decide to voluntarily abandon their application, then there won't be any reason for you not to move forward with registration. In this case, one of the office actions, one of the pending applications also received an office action as for the same reason as Cardi B, which was that it wasn't being used as a brand identifier. So he got the same trademark application office action. And then there's another person, which is just really, I don't know what they did. They approved the application, and the application wasn't just for the word Okurr. And I know that I'm butchering that word. Y'all don't laugh at me. Don't go in the comments and tell me I'm saying it wrong. I know. I took Spanish. I could never roll my R's. I'm sorry. I know I'm saying it wrong. But anywho, this person filed a trademark, and it was for, what did it say? Worry about your own kids. Okurr. And the application was approved, and it was approved for reasons that I don't know, because they did not file a proper specimen. So it should not have been approved. I don't know what's going on, but I talked it over with some of my colleagues, and we're in agreement that it was not a proper specimen. So that's where we are with that one. But I will say that application was approved supplementary register, which means that it can be challenged. They're saying that it's not, again, identifying the source of a good or service. So we'll see what goes on. So I also would tell you that when Cardi B filed those 2 applications for the Okurr, you get it, applications, she also filed 5 other applications. She filed applications for Bachtel, Bolection, Wash Poppin', Bickenhead, and Barty, right? So Barty, Bickenhead, Wash Poppin', they're all approved. Oh, and Bolection, those 4 are approved for publication, meaning that it went through the trademark review process. They didn't see anything wrong with it. And now they're giving the public 30 days to object to the registration of this mark. The 5th trademark, Bachtel, received an office action for being descriptive, because Bachtel is a term commonly used when you mix beer with some other type of liquor, and I can't recall. And so it's something that, bartenders and stuff, when you go to the bar, you can order a mocktail and you get this specific drink. So they're saying that mocktail is descriptive, especially since she filed for it as an alcoholic beverage. Right? She filed for it for alcoholic beverage. So in that case, it describes exactly what you're getting. So she wasn't able to get a trademark for that. But I will say it is a non-final office action. If she felt like she had a legal argument for why should be able to move forward, she would be able to present that argument to the trademark office. Not saying that they would accept it, but she would at least be able to put that forward. But what she did was, so she received that office action in May, and in June she filed a second application for mocktail, but this time she filed it for mocktails with Cardi B, and she added 2 additional classes. She added the clothing class, and she added one for entertainment services. It was just filed in June, so it's going to take 3 months before it's assigned to an examining attorney. So that's just something for us to keep an eye out on as it relates to Cardi B and what she has going on. All right. So let's talk about Kim K, right? Let's talk about Kim Kardashian, because I just talked about that a few days ago, how the internet was all going on fire and going crazy because she filed a trademark application for a kimono, which is a traditional Japanese garment, and she filed it for her lingerie or shapewear line. We looked at the applications, and you can look at the video here. We looked at those applications. We know there are challenges with their applications, and the likelihood of her getting approved is very slim. However, in the midst of all these legal challenges and all of the social outroar, she's changed her mind. She even received a letter from the mayor of Kyoto, Japan, asking her to reconsider using the name kimono for her shapewear line, because kimono is a traditional ethnic dress fostered in their rich nature and history. Those are his words. He said, when you reconsider, I asked you to reconsider because our kimono is a traditional ethnic dress fostered in our rich nature and history. So it appears that those pleas and those legal challenges has convinced her, Kim Kardashian, to actually change her mind. She put out a statement saying that she was going to change the name of her shapewear. And so now we're just looking to see if that also means that she's going to drop the trademark applications that she filed in relation to that shapewear. So she can file a voluntary abandonment statement, which basically tells USPTO, hey, let's drop this. I'm not moving forward with this. So she can do that, or she can just wait and just let her 6 months run up for the office action that she received and let it expire that way. Either way, we're going to see what she does. She's either not going to respond to the office actions and try to fight to get those registrations, or she's going to file a statement with the USPTO and says, hey, I voluntarily abandoned this trademark. I checked the database. There's nothing there yet, but it takes a few days for documents to hit the USPTO database. And I think that statement was just released like 2 days ago. So it would take a while and I would say it probably wouldn't be until like next week until we were able to actually see that in the database. So that's where Kim K, that's our updates for right now, y'all. What do y'all guys think? What do you think about Cardi B's and her office action refusal? What do you think about Cardi B changing the name of her shapewear line? You guys let me know in the comments. Now, I'm going to let you know what I think that our 3 top takeaways are, because, we do this so that you can learn something. So I would say the first takeaway would be, stay away from popular trends and fads when you're creating your brands. Because at the end of the day, if those things don't identify or resonate with the consumer so they can identify it, the source of your good or service, it's not a trademark. And you're always going to be chasing the next thing. Now, what that doesn't mean, and there's a way to do it. Let me put it this way. There's a way to do it. So you can create a brand, your own brand, right? And that brand can have some products in there that are related to those popular trends and fads, but it won't be the whole brand. That way, when it gets old, you're just like left standing here like, huh? What? Huh? So that would be takeaway number 1. Takeaway number 2 is just because you legally can doesn't mean that you should. And so what I mean by that, let's just say, for example, that Kim Kardashian didn't have any problems with her trademark application. Like, it was fine that they said, hey, there's nothing wrong with this, right? And this is just an example. But because of all the social outrage, you know, and what that really means, should she have moved forward with it? You know, it's not just because she could legally do it, but what about how it affects other cultures? I think when people are building brands, and when you're building your brand and your community and your business, you have to think about how what you're doing affects other cultures. Like, are you appropriating other people's culture? Are you being a vulture when it comes to other people's culture? Think about that, because all money's not good money. And what do you want? How do you want people to see you and your business? So just because you legally can doesn't mean that you always should. That is takeaway number 2. And takeaway number 3 is listen to your attorney. I'm sure that there were some conversations had with both parties where they were advised of the risk and things going on with their applications and whether they should or should not do it. Right? And I saw some comments in my previous video with Kim K saying, did she not have an attorney? Listen, let me tell you, as an attorney, just because someone pays us money for our advice does not mean that they will take that advice. And in some cases, you can understand the risk or the gamble, but we're telling you these things for a reason. And sometimes they know the risk and they just go into it anyway. They just want to know what the risks are, so they don't go in blindsided. But my third takeaway is, hire an attorney to consult with you and to listen to that attorney and take their advice into consideration as you're moving forward, building and protecting your brand. Okay? So, if you found this information useful, make sure you rate it and let me know in the comments what you thought about it. Make sure to subscribe and turn on your notifications for our weekly videos so you can receive videos like this weekly. And until next time, I want you to keep growing your brand and owning your genius. Talk to you later.
But wait, there's more. Look, I was done recording this update podcast video, but just found out that the Crips LLC has put out a statement saying that they're going to drop their trademark application. They are sorry. They never meant to disrespect Nipsey Hussle's family or his legacy, so they are pulling their application. There won't be any type of trademark legal battle as it relates to the marathon continues. I just wanted to come back and tell you guys that because I know a lot of you are following this story very closely. Listen, I looked into the database. They haven't filed anything yet, but just said in regards to Kim Kardashian's application, it takes a while for those things to hit the database. So I'll let you know if and when they file their voluntary abandonment statement, right? So that's great news. That's one less thing for the estate and the family to have to worry about. And I just wanted to get that to you this week and now while we're doing this trademark update. So remember, hit that subscribe button, that notification button, so you can be the first one to know. And join the challenge. If you want to know more about trademarks, copyrights, patents, trade secrets, all those things, I got a free challenge. All you got to do is use the link below and register. You can go to LaConyaMurray.com and you can sign up. It's free, and I'll see you there.